Through this lecture, we are going to discuss the topic of creation of contract of agency, and we would like to appreciate that how the contract of agency is created, what are the types of its creation, and what are the contents through which it is affirmatively presumed that contract of agency has already been created and now an agent is actually an authorized person or authorized representative of the principal. When a person consents to act on behalf of another and is given the authority to act so, when one person consents that he is ready to act on behalf of another person and he is authorized and allowed to do that thing, then such sort of relation is actually the relation of agency. And this is the relation between a person who is authorizing another person to do so, which is known as principal, and a person who is authorized to act on behalf of principal, known as agent in the contract of agency. When a person acquires the right to act on behalf of another, an agency is created between him and such other person. A person who is acquiring that right is known as the agent, and on whose behalf he is acting is known as principal in the contract of agency. And when such a relation is created between two persons, it is known as contract of agency. Now let's see what are the modes of contract of agency, or what are the modes to create such contract. There are four basic modes through which contract of agency can be created, and they are by express agreement, by implied agreement, by operation of law, and by ratification. By implied agreement is further divided into three categories. It can be agency by estoppel, it can be agency by holding out, and it can be agency by necessity, which we are going to further elaborate in our next slide. Now let's see first mode of creation of agency. It is agency by express agreement. When agency is created by words, either it is spoken or it is written, such sort of agency is termed as express agreement. Agency which is created by express agreement between the parties known as agent and principal. For example, A appoints B as his agent to sell his house. When he appoints B either by his words or by giving him a document, this is known as express agency. Similarly, A writes a power of attorney in favor of B through which he is authorizing him to sell his plot. This is a written express agency because power of attorney is a written document through which A has authorizes B to behave as his agent in front of the prospective purchasers of the plot. Second mode of agency, creation of agency, is agency by implied agreement. When there is no express agreement, then a lot of conditions arises through which implied agreement of agency can also be made. An implied agency arises from conduct, situation, relationship of parties. It can be arises from the conduct of the parties, that now one person is agent of another, or situation determines that one person has behaved as an agent of the other person. For example, A and B are brothers living at different cities. A, with the knowledge of B, rented out their joint property, and A collects all the rent and send the same to B. Now A is implied agent of B because he is working for B and B has impliedly authorized him to do the same. There are further bifurcations of implied agency, and there are three types of implied agency, which are agency by estoppel, agency by holding out, and agency by necessity. Agency by estoppel, which is first type of implied agency, means estoppel. Let's see what is meant by estoppel first. Estoppel means to prevent a person from denying a fact. When one person is prevented from denying a fact, it is known that estoppel applies to him. When a person, principal, has by his consent or statements induced others to believe that certain person is his agent, now he is stopped from subsequently denying it. Let's see it with example. A tells B in presence of X, an owner, that A is handling all the rent matters of X. X does not object. B entered into an agreement with A relating to property of X. As previously, X failed to object or criticize or highlight this issue that A is not my agent, so it was presumed by B that A is really working as an agent of X. And when he entered into agreement with X, now entered into agreement with A, considering that A is agent of X, now X has no authority, no power, and actually he is stopped by his own conduct. So this type of agency is called agency by estoppel. The second kind of implied agency is in agency by holding out. It requires some affirmative or positive act or conduct by the principal to establish agency subsequently. There would be some affirmative or positive act or conduct of the principal which will create such sort of agency. The principal is bound by the act of agent if on earlier occasions he made other persons to believe that the person doing some acts is doing on his behalf, and he has given such authority to his agent. For example, K, being servant of M, buys goods on credit from L, a shopkeeper perhaps, and M pays for them regularly. When your servant is purchasing on credit from some particular shop regularly and you are regularly paying to that shopkeeper, then shopkeeper would have this understanding that your servant is your agent. So now if K buys some goods for personal use, M is also liable for payment of the same, as the shopkeeper has given those things to your servant under this apprehension or under this understanding that same things are being credited to you. So here the agency is created by holding out. The third type of implied agency is agency by necessity. Sometimes extraordinary circumstances requires that a person who is not really an agent should act as agent of another. It gives an authority to a person to act as an agent for another without any consent of another person. It may happen in your life that you see that if you will not save goods of someone or any transaction of someone, it can cause a huge loss to that person. And by way of being related to that person or due to humanity, you serve as an agent of that person because at that time it was the need of the hour. So if someone acts as an agent of the other because of necessity, because of the requirement of the time, then such sort of person is termed as agent by necessity. Although he was not authorized by the principal, or the principal even cannot imagine that he was in need of any person, or there would be any situation where anyone has to act as his agent, but the circumstances created require someone to come forward and act as an agent of another person in order to save something. So such sort of agency is termed as agency by necessity. There are some conditions to be satisfied when there is agency by necessity is to consider. Number one, there is impossible to get principal's instruction. The person who is acting as an agent has no time to go to principal and ask him whether I can act as an agent of yours. Number two, course taken was only practicable one. The course adopted by the person who is acting as an agent has adopted a way which was the only practicable one, and there was no other course to be adopted. There was no other way to be adopted. There was no other way to act in that situation. So the course was adopted was the only practicable one in that circumstances. Agent must act honestly and bona fidely. The person who acted in necessity was completely working as an with an honesty, bona fidely, just in order to save something of the person who is later on termed as principal. And there must be real necessity. The situation was such that it can be termed as real necessity. So in these circumstances, if someone acts as an agent of the other, it would be termed as agency by necessity. What are the circumstances of agency by necessity? Where agent exceeds his authority bona fidely in an emergency, where carrier of goods does anything to protect or preserve the goods in emergency, where husband improperly leaves his wife without providing proper means for his subsistence, and if she sold out anything belonging to her husband, that would be agency by necessity. For example, A asks B to deliver fruits to a store in Karachi. B finds that fruits are perishing and sells them at Multan. The sale is binding on principle because if B, who is working as an agent, who is acting as an agent now, although he was not an agent, he was carrier only, if he would not sold those fruits in Multan, then even a single penny would not be cultivated by the person who sent these fruits at some store in Karachi. So as the agent acted for the benefit of the principal, so this is agency by necessity. Third type of agency or mode of agency is agency by operation of law. Agency is also constituted by operation of law. For example, under Partnership Act, every partner is agent of a firm, although they have not created or they have not documented this thing that we are going to work in a relationship of principal and agent, but every partner of a firm under the law is agent of a firm. Under Companies Act, directors are agent of a company. So this is the agency or the relationship of agency created by the law. Then fourth mode of creation of agency is agency by ratification. Ratification means subsequent acceptance by principal in respect of act done by the agent without authority. If someone acted on behalf of you, although he was not authorized by you, but later on you ratified that okay, the things done by this person are acceptable to me, then this is agency by ratification. For example, A buy 15 bags of wheat without authority of B store owner. B ratifies A's acts. Now it is agency by ratification. Although A was not authorized previously to act as an agent, but now he has done something and it is acceptable to the store owner, so it is termed as agency by ratification.